Hello everyone, here's my review for Undertone. So I saw this movie in theaters and I have to say I was actually quite impressed by it. I am someone who is not bothered by low-budget films or films that are set in one location, especially when they use that one location to good effect, and I think Undertone excels at this. This movie was shot on $500,000, give or take, and they go really far with that money. And the way they do that, the way they avoid really having to do too much in the way of visual effects, is they make the main source of tension the camera, which is actually a really creative decision. If you watch this movie, it feels very fresh for doing that. And obviously, it's not the first movie to have ever done that, but it feels like that technique in horror is sort of a dime a dozen these days. And I actually did find Undertone quite intense. The way the camera moves in this film and the way darkness is used throughout the film is designed to make you think there's going to be a jump scare, and you end up anticipating that for a lot of the film. And I think there's a lot more value to that anticipation than there would have been to just having jump scares. Because I was truly on the edge of my seat for a lot of this movie. The way the camera would pan, or a shot would be constructed to have a dark corner on the left side and our main character on the right side, was just fascinating. Because in concept, right, on paper, what's really just going on in this movie is that our characters are talking to each other on a podcast the whole time, which, again, on paper is not particularly interesting. But the way they make it interesting and intense is by forcing you to focus on other elements of the screen or the shot. And that was a super refreshing experience to have. And I will admit, the characters are kind of basic. Some would go as far as to call them flat. I think Undertone sort of trusts you to pick up on details that it drops throughout the film. But in terms of story, again, I will admit it's not the most complex. But I will say this premise is a neat setup for great audio design, and obviously, Undertone nails that. In some ways, I think people are giving too much credit to this movie's sound design and overlooking just how great the cinematography is, but the sound design is impeccable. Whenever those headphones go on Nina Kiri's head, you feel like you've put them on as well. And of course, there's that old adage that good sound design will get you no praise, but bad sound design will get you a hell of a lot of hate. But I think Undertone is one of those movies with flashy enough sound design. That's probably a poor word for it. But the sound design is such an integral part of why this film functions. So I think it deserves a lot of credit. Undertone is also really well paced. This movie moves fast, but doesn't feel like it's skipping over anything. So with that, I'm going to give Undertone an 8 out of 10. I actually do recommend this one. Horror fans, this one has been a little bit divisive, but if you haven't seen it, I don't think you should miss out on it. But that's it for this review. Thank you all for watching, and I'll talk to you all in the next one.